waiting for anyone other than MVG to really turn it on in this second round. The conditions are tough. It is boiling hot. Can the big names coming up, 2 world champions and a Premier League runner-up in Rob Cross, Stephen Bunting and Michael Smith, as well as a former world champion, Jelle Klaassen, Darius Labanauskas, the top of the Scandinavian rankings, and this man, Willie O'Connor, produced something special. Paul Nicholson in commentary for this one.
It is hot, hot, hot. Will Rob Cross be hot, hot, hot? Someone who has had an up and down year, but it's a bit more up at the minute.
It is. And if you look at, you know, the little run of results that he had going up to winning his first title since becoming world champion, which was only a couple of weeks ago in Wigan, he's had quite a long wait. He was always knocking on the door. You know, he'd gone semi-final, quarter-final, 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 and then won one. But since then, he nearly won the next one the next day. He was beaten in the final. But he was a last 16 loser in the Danish Open. He a quarter-final and a board final midweek in Barnsley. Nothing too special, particularly with no MVG there. Rob Cross was looked at as one of the favourites, right up there with Peter Wright and Michael Smith to go and claim those titles, and he didn't manage to do it. So it's not, again, it's not been like the floodgates have opened for him, but this is an opportunity for him, and he's still searching for that first European Tour title.
Well, he made a prediction with you, didn't he, on the dart show when you went axe throwing with him?
Yes, he did. He said, you're going to see me get better as the year goes on, because now that I'm not mucking about with the Premier League, and maybe this is it, the Premier League is what he says derailed him a little bit, where he stopped playing his best stuff because of all the travelling and being away midweek. And of course, this last couple of weeks is a difficult one to judge him on, because there's been a lot of midweek travelling and all sorts of stuff like that.
A bit more travelling after this one too.
Well, yes.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Willie O'Connor, who was looking as focused as he did in his last match with Tuther Martin Atkins. Rob Cross on a 144. I've seen a 144 earlier this evening. I'm not going to see one right now, and Willie O'Connor is staring down the barrel of a 96.
For a break of throw, this. Wow.
Zulevic way. Wasn't far off. So Rob Cross, the 3 seed, is looking to take care of the double snowman.
Well, he likes the 18 segment, but is it working for him? He's hit the big number.
63.
Doesn't hit the bullseye.
William, you require 28.
We've seen this a number of times from Rob Cross, where he just seems to take a little while to get himself into games, and sometimes he's giving himself too much to do. Now, he is one of the best players in the world, and he's playing some of the best darts. You only have to look at the averages over the course of this year. Second only to Michael van Gerwen in the Players' Championship events. Better than Gary Anderson, who's winning titles left, right and centre when he deems it worthy of his presence. You know, Ian White has won a title, and he's right up there with him as well, but he's higher than everybody else. It's just, he's just been falling a little bit short, and some days it's because he's just not really been at it from the word go, and he finds himself a break or sometimes a couple of breaks down, and he's given himself too much to do, and sometimes he's finding ways out of it. I mean, against Josh Payne, he managed to come from 5-1 down. I think against Kevin Painter, I think he managed to come from 5-1 down as well. But as game plans go, going 3 or 4 legs down is not a good one.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No. But, you know, look, Michael van Gerwen, we see that how often. You're never safe against MVG. You go 3 or 4 legs up and you're never safe because he can reel you in. Rob Cross is a bit like that, but not quite as regularly does he turn it around. That's why MVG is £1 million clear at the top of the order of merit, and why MVG has won 14 titles already this year to Rob Cross has won.
138.
I'm intrigued to see how Rob Cross plays on a different continent, because obviously he's played in World Series before, but that was in Germany.
58.
Going to America, and he's going to China. He's going to sample some different culture. And he's going to sample playing in different atmospheres as well, because playing in America, playing in China, it is different. Some people have to make slight adjustments to their setup. There's his dad and John Archery's agent.
Yeah, this is a much better leg from Rob Cross. And we mentioned Mensur Suljovic, how he's never won in England. Rob Cross, I mean, he's won 6 titles, sorry, now. Well, 5 of them are in England, 1's in Ireland. A very much domestic success for Rob Cross. A Euro Tour would be a lovely addition.
Well,
he's going to get away with this one, you feel, because Willie has had a scoring leg off. It's almost like you're comparing Rob Cross to Arsenal. They can't win in Europe.
Well,
93.
I'm not going to go picking fights with football fans.
Oh, absolutely not.
I'll let you wade into that.
Well, Rob Cross has won that leg. He's come close, though. I remember the back end of last year, and he mentioned that he was getting better and better and better as the year got on, and he wants to do the same this year.
58.
He's already said, hasn't he, that he wants to win the Worlds again. I know he wants to, but he thinks he will.
Yeah, he genuinely does. And if he does do that, that really does put the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of world rankings, because he would definitely be in at number 2. And £500,000 to the winner of the World Championship this year. It really would put him, well, I think he's going to be rivaling Van Gerwen anyway. It's going to be the end of this 2-year spell, of course, at the end of the World Championship, when Rob Cross will have completed his full 2-year term, first 2-year term in the order of merit. 180 for Willie O'Connor.
Well, 500 grand to get you 50 bitcoins.
Will it even get you that anymore?
Probably not. Not sure Rob's into cryptocurrency.
No, you want to speak to Devin Peterson about it. One of Devon's mad money-making schemes. He was promoting cryptocurrency, along with his fashion brand and his darts tour in South Africa. I thought he was promoting a homemade biltong making set on social media the other day, but no, it turns out that was just for personal use.
Oh, come on.
I think he has called it like the Big Dev Meat Cure or something. Like, it's got a proper brand name, but it's not trademarked.
What's next? The Robert Thornton Distillery.
Well. Ooh.
94.
It's an interesting leave. Well, Rob Cross is on 210 here. He needs to find a couple of trebles. He does love that treble 18.
86.
He does, and it's so important to his game as well. And it can just be a bit sporadic, particularly at the start of games.
Good shot from Willie O'Connor.
William O'Connor.
Someone who, for quite a few years, can we say that he has underachieved?
Well, for his talent, I think, just speaking to other people in the game, you know, I remember when the Euro Tour first started and Rod Harrington was sat in the comms box and he was constantly going, now Willie, he's been around a while and people always say he's got great talent, but he hasn't, you know, it was his debut at the World Championship last year, and if you're not making the World Championship, then you're going to find it very hard to progress up the rankings, because so much money is based there. There are obviously more opportunities than ever to go and play in big money tournaments, and but if you're not in the World Championship, then, I mean, that's the jewel in the crown, and there's so much ranking money there.
I've got to applaud Willie O'Connor, though, and we have talked about his change of action, which I think was around about this time last year. And I think he looked at his performances and looked in the mirror and said, a change has got to be made, otherwise maybe this just isn't meant to be. And the change of action, the change of equipment with the shorter stem, for me, he is as good as ever. And I think he believes he's as good as ever, which makes it a lot more dangerous.
Well, the way he was talking back in September last year, let's just see if he can take this out. He's not going to, but Rob Cross is back on 1-2-4, and O'Connor, if he can just find one treble, that
97.
might be enough
Robbie
to help him get over the line in
124.
this leg, unless Cross can take this. He's already had a crack at the bullseye and missed. Will it be a crack at the bullseye again? No, it's double 11. Darter, the world champs off and running, and a bit of arrogance in that. That's what we like to see from Rob Cross.
Yeah. That was a bit more Rob Cross-like, because he had a little pause before a double earlier on, and it was a bit more lethargic than that. There was a bit more
99.
intensity there. It's the right word.
Yeah, well, just to pick up on Willie O'Connor, I think he's hitting more 180 since his changes, though. Like this one, for example. Well, not like that one, but like the two previous he'd hit. But I think, talking to him back in September when he qualified by winning the Tom Kirby, he was saying that he almost felt like he'd been playing within himself. He changed his throw originally, shortly after moving over to the PDT, because he felt that he was getting injury problems, a bit like Jelle Klaassen, getting problems around his wrist and his forearm. And you've had that as well.
100.
Yeah. So he changed it as a sort of self-preservation thing, but he hadn't made the progress that he wanted to. And I think he probably considers this a bit of a risk, to have gone back to the old style, or at least something approximating it. He knows he might cause himself problems, but he also feels he needs to do something.
He's played steadily this year. He's qualified for a few of them.
59.
Well, like you mentioned earlier on in the week, he seemed to be getting beaten by the younger generation.
Yes.
Rob Cross on 135. Looking to just leave tops, and a little snarl there.
95.
He is on tops. He really hasn't played bad in this leg, just not as good as Rob.
Yeah, and Cross has now moved his average up to the mid-90s, and with the way he seems to be on an upward trajectory in this match. After, again, a bit of a sluggish start, the thing is, at least Rob didn't let his opponent get 2-3 legs clear.
Willie snookered here because he wanted to go 20s. He had to go 17s there because another big number would have left him on a bogey number. Just in case Rob misses this, he's left the 164. But he hasn't missed tops. Rob Cross, after a brace of legs, is now 3-2 in front.
Yeah, things moving in the right direction for Rob Cross, and Willie O'Connor might be forced to find a 12-dart leg from somewhere here to stop Rob Cross running away with it, because this has the feel of the world champion finding his groove, and we know what he's like when he gets into that groove.
93.
Well, it was roughly this time last year when Rob Cross was playing in Leverkusen. It was our first jaunt there. Great venue. One of the mainstays, I feel, for the next few years.
60.
And I'm being a bit selfish when I say that, because I love the place. And that was where Rob Cross dismantled Van Gerwen.
Yeah,
He was
6-2 win.
ultimately beaten by Mervyn King, who made the final, and then lost out to Peter Wright.
60.
But that performance against Van Gerwen just proves that Michael can be beaten in these European Tour events, as with last week when he was beaten by Northern
42.
Irishman Brendan Dolan.
Yeah, and of course beaten in Saarbrücken this year by the Diamond Ian White. Ian White is safely through, having got his first ever win
100.
against Max Hopp. Took him 6 goes at trying. Willie O'Connor has had 4 goes at Rob Cross, and if he is looking for encouragement, I've got mixed messages for him, because the first time he played him, back in April last year, he was beaten 6-1. He played him half a year later, he was beaten 6-2. He played him 8 months later, he was beaten 6-3. He played him again the following day, so this was last week. He was beaten 6-4. The omens suggest Willie O'Connor is going to get more legs than ever against Rob Cross in this game. But they also suggest he's going to lose it.
Well, if he wants to stick with him, he wants Rob to miss this treble 19, but he hasn't. Double 16.
92.
And that was not close by Rob Cross's standards. But Willie may need that double himself. He doesn't. He needs the one north of double 16.
62.
He misses it.
Rob, you require 16.
And I don't think Rob Cross is going to miss this.
3 darts in his hands.
Game shot the 6th.
And you can see how he knows he's not playing his best, but when he's actually there, even when he misses a double, you very rarely, unless he's missed it in a comedy fashion, like he's chucked it into the tyre, or he's hit Hugh Ware in the side of the head, where he might laugh it off. Most of the time, it is completely impassive, and it's not almost like it doesn't register. It's almost like a binary. It's like hit or miss, right? Miss, so I have to hit now. And it doesn't affect him in the way that other players might. You can see them visibly getting nervous. You can see the hands start to shake.
Yeah. He's able to process
100.
small failures very quickly, and he's got this ability to forget, which, from my own experience, if you have the ability to forget things that have gone wrong, it's an
93.
incredible asset to your game.
You obviously want to learn from them, but you just don't want to dwell on them.
Yeah, it's almost like swiping left and then pressing delete. He has that quality.
77.
Well, Willie O'Connor is battling here. He's giving Rob Cross a test. But it'll be frustrating for Willie not to be producing the stuff that he produced yesterday. But that is a third 180 for the Magpie, and it's a chance of a break.
So like you were saying earlier, Willie's going to get 5 legs today.
140.
And then the time he plays them after that, he'll win.
Unless maybe it's in a Eurotour semi-final and it's first to 7.
Maybe. Is that a single or a treble? I think it's a single, so it's bull. It's had to go across the hockey. What a shot from Willie O'Connor! Wow, a 5-leaf clover shot from the Magpie. And that gets him back in it.
It is a ridiculous dart from Willie O'Connor. You could see from his reaction, he could see a tiny fraction of the bullseye. But 2 magnificent visits back-to-back from the Magpie now. In fact, how about this? How about this? Well, we won't see Willie back it up with another max, but Rob Cross was saying earlier, we've had perfection once. It's going to happen again soon. Not now.
That ton from Willie O'Connor with the 60 on the last dart has just proved very vital. You've got to get the odd number eventually. Switching well. Great recovery skills from Willie O'Connor. Gets himself low after 9 again. Putting pressure on the world champ. This is a great leg of darts to watch.
140. Will you require 102?
Both left with 1 treble checkouts. Perhaps should have been looking 62. At the treble 14 there, Willie O'Connor. It's a bigger target. However, he has left him himself 3 darts at tops.
Oh, that's the treble he didn't want. He can only lay up now.
81.
Has done.
Will you require 40?
Going to be 4-4 in a second, I feel. Or will it be? Kiss off that one. Yeah, it's 4-4. He's getting closer to those 5 legs. He might even get 6.
He might. Willie O'Connor, when I spoke to him yesterday, just in the players' room, and he played fantastically, and I was congratulating him on his win.
98.
I couldn't remember who he had next. He said Rob Cross. I said, have you beaten him before? I can't remember. I said, no, but last time I played him, I had him. I knew I had him. I got a lead and he reeled me in, but I knew it. I missed darts. I had chances. I didn't take them, and he was annoyed. He was annoyed he hadn't taken them. And he has outscored Rob Cross, the world champion in this. That is Rob Cross's second 180. He's half as many as Willie O'Connor has hit in this match.
This has turned into a very high quality game that you don't want to take your eyes off, and look at that from Willie. gutted that that hit the treble 5. Cross is not going to let go of his throw
99.
very lightly. And if Willie is going to have a crack at this leg, he might need a 180.
Not a bad effort. Not bad at all.
180.
Not bad at all. 7 for the match, 5 for Willie O'Connor. He's on a 2-darter. Rob Cross looking at the 1-2-4 once more. This time on the ball.
99.
Well, he's given himself a chance
97.
with that brilliant 180. Will he get a shot at the double? Will he? He won't.
45.
Disappointment personified from the Irishman. And Cross on 25. 9 for double 8 to go within 1. Wow. Didn't expect that to miss. Willie O'Connor is licking his lips right now. Double 16 for him to go within 1, and that's a horror dart. Got to go over the top. Gets it! He's got 5 legs, Dan. Will he get the 6th? Will he go through? Will he win?
It is 3 legs on the spin for Willie O'Connor. He has hit a maximum in each of them. The magnificent 93 checkout on the bullseye, and then a brace of 15 darters. Another 15 darter here might well be enough to send the world champion packing and give Willie O'Connor his first ever win against him. And this might be another max.
140.
He gave it everything and actually shook the other 2 darts. He threw that very hard. Rob Cross came out and said after his first World Grand Prix that he was a bit bamboozled by the whole thing. Maybe feeling bamboozled against an Irishman right now, because he had this game by the scruff of the neck at 4-2 up. Now he's trailing.
Yeah, and he looked to be moving through the gears as well, but Willie O'Connor has found a way to stop him. And it all started with that superb dart at bullseye for the 93 finish.
Winner of this place, Kim Idrecht, who
100.
played all right today against Chris Dobie to send Alan Norris out of the match play standings.
Yeah, and put Richard North into them. But Willie O'Connor is a player who could knock Richard North out of them if he won the tournament. And I tell you what, after averaging 101 yesterday, and is 2 darts away potentially from beating the world champion, he has got to be considered a danger. Could this happen? Willie O'Connor 81 for the match.
12 and bull. Bullseye to knock out the world champ.
56.
Slightly wide. Now Rob Cross has got 124 again.
124.
This is to save his skin though. Can he do it again?
3 times he's had a look at 1-2-4. He took it out first time. He missed the bull next time. He does not even get a dart this time. It's been getting worse. And surely now, Willie O'Connor has the world champion in the palm of his hand. Willie O'Connor has done it. Rob Cross, the world number 3, the number 3 seed, the world champion, becomes the highest profile casualty in Hamburg this weekend. Another Euro Tour disappointment for Voltage, and Willie O'Connor, a magnificent day.